Bismillah. Hello, assalamu alaikum. This is Abdul Latif Al Khayyat. I take up another book. This is the fourth, because last thing we did was Work, a book by Jawdat Saeed, published 1980. And now, as you see, the intervals are long. Now it is 1988. He published this new book, Read and Your God is Most Bountiful. This expression is from the Qur'an. He wants science and knowledge to be clear to Muslims. He believes that they don't have clear view. It is confused with suspicions, with guessing, with mythology, with desires. They don't know what science and knowledge are in real terms. But then he finds that cannot be separated from reading. It is reading where you store and where you accumulate and where you spread. It is through reading. That's why he chose this title. And then he believes that more reading, in the widest sense, in the unlimited way, in a very liberal and fearless way, that is reading, that improves one's ability to reason and to compare and to improvise and to keep reforming and improving and going ahead. That is the way. And also, one great result is having peaceful ways of solving problems, because even in the Quran, when God created Adam, the angels, that is in the Quran, that the angel said, will you create somebody who will do mischief and shed blood? And God said, I know that which you do not know. And then he taught Adam the nature and names of things. So by not knowing the nature and names of things, you can solve the problem of bloodshed and doing mischief. So it is knowledge. It is reading. And yes, there is science now, and scientific efforts are great, but they mostly, even in the West and the most advanced countries, they focus on body and nature. And what about the most vital thing? Can we live together in an amicable, in a harmonious way? That is not true. It is not like this. The biggest powers believe in their own greatness and the veto right, and the others must only follow submissively. So it is those who are intellectuals are to blame, not the politicians, because they don't do well, they do not work well to show that there is something more vital to be revived and to be worked on. There is what is at the center must not be more production and only our health. There are other microbes and viruses that must be worked on, that give hatred and malice and all that. It is there, and we must work on it. Then he goes also to existence. When it is in our mind, we have something that concepts of the world in our mind, but that is not the reference. Even your great scholar or sheikh or father, that is not the reference. They are not the law. They can give you the law, they can teach you the law, but they are not the end. They are not the end, because things don't stop. They don't stay as they were 10 years and a generation and 10 and 20 generations back. So our fathers, for example, our great Sahaba, the companions of the Prophet, great, they are very great, and they taught us much, but that is not the end. There are facts of the world which we must keep up with and must learn. Example, rule, transferring rule from one person to another in a peaceful way and in a civilized way. That was not known even to the companions of the Prophet. So much blood was shed at their hands. But now people that we sometimes condemn can do that in a good way, in a peaceful way. And that, he says, is closer to what God and his prophet would please that God and his prophet. So there is existence in our mind, I mean, concepts, but there is existence in the world. The facts of history, the facts of the world, unless we keep in touch with that all the time, comparing and correcting our own mistakes and the mistakes of others, then how can there be any advance? Science here is that there is this cause and this effect as somebody thinks. Somebody will suggest that from my observation, this results into this. Okay, let's examine. And he shows his evidence or her evidence, 10, 20, this, until he himself or herself are satisfied. And then somebody comes, examines it. That's what they call verifiable fact. What you claim must be verifiable. Others must examine and say yes or no. Okay, when you say cause and effect, I examined and find it true. What's your evidence? Two. Jawdat suggests two proofs. One is prediction, that when you predict in the forecast that tomorrow there will be this rain or wind or no, and then it is shown to be true. And then when you have more knowledge, you say 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, prediction. But then you can have also control, dominance. When you have control of, you say the wind will go this way, and I want the port there, my ship will go this way, you are having control. And that is more evidence and more advanced. But that must be shown not only in this ship and wind and forecast, it must be shown in morality and in religion. Morality and religion, when you do good caring for children, it must have its outcome. When you do cooperation and good deeds to people and you help the poor, that must be shown in real terms. And when you say that faith in God and the last day and prayer and pilgrimage, that must be shown, the benefits, the blessings must be shown in tangible terms here, not only what God will give in reward. We must keep observant and in touch with things outside our mind. That, I mean, any great book is depicts what's in the mind. It cannot tell you the tree, but you go to the tree to examine that what that person claims is true or not true. We must keep in touch with things outside. So what about behavior? And what about the decline and rise of people, and what is good for a community or bad? What will bring a community to rise or to decline and fragment? Here, the laboratory that examines that is history. Keep in touch with history and more history and more history to show who is doing well and who is doing well. It is again scientific, cause, effect, and outcome. And that must apply to religion, because when something is scientific, then it takes root and people stop arguing about it. And that is true of religion and morality. And that's what we believe, but we must show it to people in real terms, tangible terms. This is the benefit of reading and science. Thank you very much.